So I just watched Man of Steel from 2013, directed by Zack Snyder, averaging a 2.9 on Letterboxd. The most given rating seems to be 3 stars out of 5. Let's see what some people gotta say about Man of Steel. I'm not reading all of this. Are you effing stupid? Ugh, such an overbearing, dreary piece of overwritten shit. I can maybe count on one hand the number of films that frustrate me as much as this one. So much potential crushed into thousands upon thousands of heroic musings and obvious robotic filmmaking. Even the greatest aspects, opening images of Krypton, Superman vs. Zod, feel lifeless, torn away from their inherent majesty and switched with dour compositions and a fucking horrible soundtrack that makes me want to shove leaf blowers into my ear canals. That is from Silent Dawn, and he gave it 1 star out of 5, or 20 out of 100. Contrasting that, we have a 5 out of 5 from Simone. An explosion of imagination and visual ingenuity. Man of Steel manages to feel like the future of cinema and an instant classic all at once. It follows the bare bones of the source material, then injects a strong dose of modernity a strong dose of modernness. You get what I'm trying, and eliminates the duality between Clark Kent the journalist and Superman. The early reviews for this film are polarized for all the wrong reasons. Something that's been slowly building over the last few years has finally come to a head with reviews of this film. When it comes to big, flashy summer blockbusters, critics have taken extremely negative stances on popular films for the sake of being above all the noise. This isn't a film that needs to be dissected and overanalyzed. There's no need to bash it because it doesn't fit a narrow set of bullshit criteria based on past Superman films. It should be enjoyed for the spectacle. It's about being swept up in a beautiful fantasy and forging an emotional connection with the larger-than-life superhero, or hero. I kind of agree with that last part a little bit, but what if I have to tinkle? You will believe a man can sigh, hopelessly torn between regurgitating a myth and telling a story. Inert, dull, and terribly timid. The genome of a Nolan film and none of the grace. Flashback structure fatally innervates the narrative. Hardly any actual scenes, even fewer actual characters. Cavill is great/wasted. Adams is given a petulant and banal, how do you say that word? Banal, Lois Lane. Shannon acquits himself, and yet enjoys not a single memorable moment. His henchwoman steals the show with her Metal Gear moves. I actually agree with that. What's her name? She was so dope in this movie. What's her name? Anche Trau. Fiora. Whatever. She was dope, dude. There really isn't any reason to be excited for Batman vs. Superman, is there? And that's from Film Spotting, all the way back in 2016. Jesus, talk about predicting it. I remember seeing Man of Steel in theaters back in 2013. I remember there being a lot of hype around this movie. I remember, everyone excited for it. I remember enjoying it a lot back then. I gotta agree with, what's her name? Simone. I don't understand as much hate as it gets, I'll say that, right? It's a superhero movie, and amongst superhero movies, it's a different one for sure. If you look at most superhero movies, this one just feels very different. I like Zack Snyder's style. I liked parts of this movie. I'd say the biggest problem for me was the flashback stuff and how fast things seem to happen. But really mainly, there's not that much to this movie, I feel like, which isn't a bad thing. It's just entertaining. So I remember seeing this in theaters back when it came out. The power to the theater went out during the IHOP fight scene. That girl who fights Superman is really dope. 2.5 out of 5.